Hi, so it would be my typical Tuesday basic yoga night class, and I'm not there tonight. So I thought that we could jump over here to my mat. Tonight, I'm kind of just playing around with this mic thing that I got, and I know that most people right these days are using the earbuds, and I don't have any of those right now. So I thought I would give this little doohickey a try. If it's too much and I find that I need to take it off, then I'll just set it down and use my mic that way. All right, so tonight I am going to start with a blanket as a comfortable seat. If you find that you want to use some kind of bolster or pillow for Shavasana later, feel free to grab anything that you might need right now. So maybe pause, go get what you need, maybe even some water, a journal. Actually, let me start this right now. So I, as a long time home practitioner, have found that journaling is one of the best methods for me to show up to myself. Not only for me to remember what I have done on my mat, but sometimes just the thoughts that have come to me. Maybe it's the music that I play. So whether it is tonight that you've decided to use a journal or maybe the next time around, that feel free to incorporate journaling into your home practice. All right, so I'm just going to set this right here. I love books, and so you're always going to see probably books also around me when I am teaching. So we'll start again, a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes if it works for you tonight. So if you're a person and you're in a space, it's not even that, you're in a space that it feels better to keep the eyes open. Always know that you are encouraged to listen to that intuition and trust showing up for yourself on the mat. So for me, I'm going to start with my eyes closed, my palms down. And to begin the class this evening, I will start with 3 ohms as a centering piece. Taking a complete breath, an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale again. Keeping your eyes closed. You can begin by checking in with the physical body. Just exploring where the seat meets support. If one side feels a little more lifted or lower than the other, know that you can reposition to find the most comfortable space for you. From this place of physical stillness, you can allow that awareness to travel upwards along the spine. Maybe noticing the natural curve in the lower back. That space where the shoulder blades start to fall together to gently open the heart. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. The jaw softens, eyes soften. The crown of the head feeling as if it is gently lifting, opening towards the sky. From this place of dynamic stillness, can take this time to bring that awareness to your breath. Noticing the natural inhale and exhale. As your breath enters and leaves the nose, allowing that awareness to travel into the physical body, into that physical awareness that as you inhale, you can notice that breath come down into the throat, maybe that expansion of the heart and the belly. And as you exhale, an intentional letting go, a relax, a contract. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Just like the beating of our heart, with that inhale, there's that expansion. And as we exhale, the release. And from the place of the physical and the breath, we can now turn towards the mind. Taking this time to set an intention for your practice this evening. If there is a quality or just something that you are working on or working through, I would invite you to keep that into the heart, the mind, and be that quiet observer. Observe and honor what you are ready to go a little more general on and listen to as we move through this practice. And as we come to that place, I'm just going to offer this intention of playfulness. Because truly, there's no other place to be tonight than where you are. Most of us have been doing many of the same things. And in reality, or the reality before, the reality now, we do the same things mostly every day anyhow. It is the tools that we use, the strategies, the things that we know how to do. And maybe that comes from a place of spirit that we work through. Maybe it comes from something solid that you have learned in the past. But we're doing the same thing every day again. Now, maybe in a different way than we were doing before, but we can always bring that sense of playfulness. Whether it is laughing when we make a mistake or laughing when we have fun. And if it's not laughing, then being able to smile a little easier. So wherever you may be this evening, I would invite you from this space to blink the eyes open. And we're going to remove anything that we might possibly be sitting on. And come over to all fours. And then Gently sending the seat towards the feet into child's pose. So from here, if child's pose is not accessible, bring your forearms or your fists to bring the floor up to you. If it feels good to use that blanket, pillow, bolster underneath, feel free to do that also. From this space, just allowing that belly again to relax, the jaw to relax, the fingertips, the arms, breathing into the lower back, and that reconnection. Noticing where the forehead rests. Letting go of anything that may be captured in the mind. Reconnecting to that physical sensation. Flowing into the breath and slowly rising up to all fours. If it bothers your wrists, then to please bring your hands a little bit more forward than the shoulders, spreading the fingers wide. If you look to the knees, it can be underneath of the hips, but if it bothers your back, make your knees wider than your hips. So from here, taking this time to gently tuck the tail, arch the back, tuck the chin into cat position. I would invite you maybe to just simply shift the hips from side to side. A gentle shake of the head, yes and no, maybe even move into the wrists. If something doesn't feel quite comfortable or right, then just rearrange yourself. All I can say is that I am just simply a vehicle to offer the message of yoga. It is your body, your practice. So if it does not feel good, let off a little bit, reposition to find what does feel good. Sometimes we don't know, so we can move the hands, outside, closer, inside, underneath of the shoulders. If you come with an injury, to be extra careful, possibly even bending the elbows a little bit. From here, we're going to drop the belly down towards the earth, looking forward into cow. Exhale, tucking the tail, arching the back, tucking the chin into cat. Inhale, release the belly, gazing forward into cow. Exhale, tucking the tail, arching the back, tucking the chin, cat. Inhale, releasing the tail, the belly, breathing forward, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Very gently coming back to all fours. Taking an inhale and then intentionally finding the exhale and then the movement, hips to heels, child's pose. If it feels better to bring the hands back towards the ankles, feel free to do that too. If the hands are to the back, I would invite you to bring them more forward, rising up to all fours. Curling the toes, lifting the knees, the hips to the sky for your first down dog. Now with that first down dog, oftentimes you will hear people about pedaling your feet and moving in certain ways, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. My first step is always to try to take my feet wider onto the mat to notice how my lower back feels. If it feels comfortable and I can start to work towards straightening the knees a little bit, maybe bringing the heels closer to the earth, then I'll start to walk my feet more towards hip distance apart. Some of us like to have our feet, our ankles touching, glued together like branches of a tree. Maybe you're a person that it's going to change. And until you find what feels good, then you work to that, and then that focus. Inhaling, coming down to all fours. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, finding the movement, rising to all fours. Exhaling, finding the movement, down dog. Inhaling, move, table, all fours. Exhale, move, child's pose. So if you play a game with this, the finding the breath in the moving, inhale, rise, all fours. You'll notice that oftentimes, exhale, move, down dog. That we want to move before we breathe. That tends to happen a lot. But if we can start to intentionally find the breath and then the movement, exhale to all fours. Inhale to all fours, then exhale, child's pose. We can begin to create a space between our movements, our thoughts, our reactions, or at least we can begin to practice inhaling, rising all fours. This time I'm going to bring my body more forward, a very kind of high cobra. If you need to kind of walk everything back, shift the weight of the hips from side to side. Again, this invite to just kind of roll and play with the body, right? You're in your own space, you're in your own home. Get comfortable, right? So you're not going to look like me and I'm not going to look like you. And that's okay. I'm not going to look like another yoga teacher. It's finding that comfort in that space and that. So from here, curling the toes under, pressing back to all fours. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, rising all fours. Exhaling, nice and slow, lifting the knees, the hips, down dog. We're going to take it a little bit different. Inhaling forward to plank. I have to move my hands and my feet. Now, traditionally, it is said, or at least these are things that I've heard, that we should be able to move between plank and down dog without moving the hands and the feet. So, if you cannot comfortably do that, play around with your hands and feet. When I move too fast on my mat, or maybe I'm not quite in my body, I find that it is very difficult for me to do. Actually, it's probably just difficult anyhow. Inhaling forward to plank. Exhaling, sending the hips back to the sky, down dog. Inhaling forward to plank. Exhaling, hips to the sky, down dog. Inhaling all fours. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling all fours. Exhaling, curling the hips, lifting the hips, curling the toes, lifting the hips. Ah, see, just real life, down dog. Inhaling to the balls of the feet. Exhaling, bending the knees, looking to the hands, stepping, hopping, or walking to the front of the mat. Dropping the crown down to the earth. Maybe a little shake, yes and no with the head. Possibly holding on to the elbows, a little ragdoll. Again, this is a place with the feet that if you have lower back issues, keep the feet wide, bend the knees, get really grounded and relaxed. From here, inhaling, rising halfway to a flat back. Again, playing with those feet if it feels better, bringing them close together. Inhaling, rising halfway, chest parallel to the floor, belly engaged. Exhaling, fold, crown back to the earth. Inhaling, rising halfway. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, rising halfway. From this space, it's going to take a little heat in the legs, so we're going to bring awareness to the physical back again. So you can notice, are you placing more weight into the heels? Or placing more weight into the balls or the toes? And from there, maybe even taking that moment to tap into the subtle sensations, that weight, how it plays with us, what it does to us. And from here, taking a good bend in the knees, rising to stand, inhaling the hands up high. Considering that intention, bringing it between the fingertips and exhaling it down to the heart. Inhaling, lifting, rising high. Exhaling, fold, hinging from the hips, crown down to the earth. Inhaling, rising halfway. Exhaling, fold, crown to the earth. Inhaling, expanding, growing with the feet, energy rising high to the sky. Exhaling, relaxing, contracting, folding forward down to the earth. Inhaling, rising halfway, gauging that belly. Exhaling, fold, crown back to the earth. One more time, inhaling, rising, hands high to the sky. Growing into that energy, exhaling, folding, crown back to the earth. Inhaling, rising halfway. Exhaling, fold, this time stepping that right foot back, bringing the right knee down. Now, if you need a blanket or something underneath of that feet, underneath of your knee, feel free to do that. From here, Knowing if you have knee issues, bring that knee a little bit behind the ankle if it feels comfortable. So on my end as the yoga teacher, there's different styles of yoga taught and different ideas of how the body needs to align or not align. And I really, as we work from home, want you to find that place that's most comfortable for you. So if it feels better with having it more stacked, feel free to do that. Sometimes that we'll have people that'll have the knee over the ankle. Find what works for you. Going for this back hip, maybe everything's going to be closer and together for tonight, and you're just getting used to having those hips open and working from side to side. From here, bringing those hands down, possibly using blocks or books. Curling the back toes under, lifting that knee. Okay, this is the playful part for a moment. We are going to bring that energy, lift the hips high, stepping that front foot to the back of the mat. Taking that energy, inhaling, moving forward. This time, exhaling, bringing the knees to the earth. Bending the elbows, coming all the way down to the mat. Sliding the hands forward as not to compromise the shoulders. And gently lifting the head, the heart, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. As you inhale, notice that belly expand into the earth. And as you exhale, a gentle relax, contract. Gently coming down to the elbows, sliding those hands back underneath of the shoulders. So many variations to get back, but from here, I'm just going to press into my hands, nothing fancy, coming to the knees, exhaling, down dog. Inhaling to the balls of the feet, exhaling, bending the knees, a little bit of play. Do you want to step, hop, or walk before to get to the front of your mat? I think I'm just going to, so sometimes we have to decide before we get there, right? You're working in the past year. How are you going to do to get to the future? That next step. Step, hop, walk, float. I'm just going to do a nice step. Feeling solid forward, exhaling, folding. Inhaling, rising, hands to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Inhaling, hands to the sky. Exhaling, fold, crown back to the earth. Inhaling, rising halfway. Exhaling, fold, hands to the mat. This time stepping that left foot back. Again, relaxing into the hips. Maybe it feels good to drop them from side to side. Allowing everything to be still. From here, if the toe is relaxed, curling it under, lifting the knee, lifting those hips, stepping back to down dog. Inhaling forward to plank. Exhaling, then finding the movement coming down to the earth. Inhaling, sliding the hands a little, finding a little lift in the head, the heart. Exhaling, coming back down to the earth. Curling the toes, pressing back to the knees, and this time, exhaling, child's pose. Again, from this space, knowing that the hands can rest towards the heels. And then gently walk the hands towards the knees. Come up to sit onto the ankles, and we are gently going to shift the weight to the side. Now, one of the great things, again, about being home is having so many props like your wall available. One of the best feeling poses, asanas, movements is called legs up the wall. So get cozy here with your wall. Scoot yourself really, really close. Okay, there's truly not a perfect way to do this. And if you decide not to do it this way, just simply lay on your back and you're gonna put your legs up the wall. But from here, I'm gonna show you the closest way. So you're hugging the wall. Your bum is touching onto the wall. You come down onto your side. And then you're gonna start to roll over onto your back. And from this space, simply putting your legs up the wall. Oh, it feels so good. So allowing the leg bones, those femur bones, to settle back down into the hips. Might feel good to have the eyes opened or closed. Allowing everything to release, to let go from the day. Bringing awareness to the sacrum as it relaxes. That awareness into the breath as you expand and release. As the mind wanders, coming to the intention, observing, honoring, letting go. Back to the breath. Back to the physical. The feelings of the heart beating. The palms relaxing, the toes talking. Very gently, the hardest thing to do is to come out of this pose because it feels so good. You're going to take a bend in the knees. Roll back over to the side. And gently return back to sitting. All these cords. All right. From this space, we are going to take the legs in front of you. I would invite you to bend your right knee and bring the sole of your foot to the inside of the leg. If it bothers your knee or if the knee isn't quite relaxed, always use that blanket, sweatshirt, whatever works best for you underneath. So you can truly just relax into the pose. So that straight leg, the toes could be up to the sky if you want to keep everything nice and tight and in. But if it really feels good to open up the hip, you're going to let that foot just fall to the side. From this space, we can inhale the hands high. You can choose. Your hands could just simply come down to frame that front foot or front leg. If it feels like you want to move a little more forward, I would invite you. Now I know what feels good to me, and bringing my toes back up is going to give me a little bit different stretch in the back of my legs. So I'm going to inhale, bring my toes up, and then start to walk the hands forward, dropping the chin down to the chest. Knowing that that femur bone starting to slide back up into the hip. Finding that place of connection at the lower back, the spine, and that energy to travel upwards through the crown of my head. So whether you actually physically move or not, it doesn't matter, to come back to that visual and feel as if the heart and the leg are getting a little bit closer. If that's too much, let off a little bit. The breath will truly guide you. As you breathe and get comfortable, relax. The longer that we're here, that breathing gets a little bit easier, and possibly where you physically move to starts to relax a little bit too. All right, nice and gentle, come back to sit. From this space, we're going to take that right knee and send it up to the sky. I'm going to bring that leg more to the center so it's all kind of hugged in together. So this is a great place to first just sit if it feels good, and maybe a gentle twist to the right. So this, again, gentle, gentle twist. If you want to go deeper, take that right hand, reach to the back. Again, just that little twist. If you want to go even deeper, you can bring that elbow to the outside of the leg. Maybe hand up to the sky. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Again, knowing that gaze can be forward. It could be to the side or even to the back, or maybe just play around with it. Again, you're at home. You decide. No pain, no pain, no pain. If it's twingy at all, let off. There is nothing wrong with just a simple sit, a simple hug, a simple, just yummy hug. It might be one of the few that we've had lately, right? And then exhale, stretching that right leg forward, bringing that left knee to the sky, left sole of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Again, maybe you want to see what that feels like to have that open hip, and simply just sit. If you want to feel a little bit more of a stretch, breathing into the hamstring, we can inhale the hands up high. Exhale, a gentle twist of the heart as you frame that leg. Again, sitting feels great. If you want to exhale, move a little more forward. Maybe dropping the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, finding that breath, gently relaxing, gently breathing. Settling in. And again, if it's too much, go ahead and let off a little bit. Maybe move all the way back up to sit. From here, bringing that left knee up to the sky. Again, maybe it feels really good just to hug it all in. Or possibly take that foot and cross it over. Again, that hug still feels really good. Maybe take that right arm and, that gentle twist. Again, if you want to go deeper, find that space, bringing that left hand behind you, maybe even that right elbow to the outside of that knee. Allowing that spine to grow in its length. Gaze forward, side or back. Inhale and exhale. And gently returning back to neutral. Unwinding again. Maybe that hug just feels really good. It's nice and gentle. And then sending both feet out in front. From this space, we're going to bend both knees. I'm going to reposition and find myself long onto my mat. Nice and gentle, coming down to the elbows and then coming all the way down. Noticing the sacrum where it's rested, and from here, keeping those knees together and walking the feet to the outside edge of the mat, taking the arms, crossing them over, creating space in the upper back, the shoulder blades. Maybe it's a hug that you give yourself for showing up and doing something fun and playful this evening. Opening the arms out wide to a T, and from here, toe healing, the feet together, and this time the knees falling wide. And repositioning. So you're at home, you may have things around you, just like me, and that you need to find that comfortable space. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. From here, bringing those knees back to the center, feet up to the sky. Reaching your arms overhead. And taking this time to consider that intention. Painting it over the body and allowing the legs to come all the way down to the floor. When they reach there, to embrace gravity and take one long final stretch from fingertips to toes. An inhale through the nose and an exhale from the mouth. Bringing the hands beside the body as we prepare for Shavasana. So from here, you may, if you have a bolster, want to get a bolster, a pillow, place it underneath of your knees. If you have any sort of blanket, sweatshirt, socks, you've probably gotten a little warm during practice and your body's going to cool off. You want to keep it warm. So find that comfortable space. And from here, taking this time to reconnect back into the body, explore where the body needs support. From the possibly the feet upwards to the crown of the head, and relaxing the forehead, softening the eyes and softening the jaw. Tongue wide and soft. Front of the throat and the back of the neck completely relaxed. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers relaxed. Lower back, middle back, and upper back completely relaxed. Your heart, belly, and hips. Internal organs completely relaxed. Thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, relaxed. From the soles of the feet to the crown of the head and all the space around you is completely relaxed. As thoughts come to you, observe and honor them. Allow them to go so you can be completely relaxed. And then very gently you can start to reconnect to where you are. Noticing where the body meets support and starting to wiggle the fingers and toes. Allowing the breath to become a little more full and deep. And then if it's comfortable, to the back body, the side body, to start to remove any props. And slowly roll over to your side. And even holding on, right? From this space, sending yourself a thank you for showing up to your mat, to your practice, and to yourself. Knowing that the intention that you set is just as possible outside of this space, outside of your space. And nice and easy coming back to a comfortable seated position and closing your eyes. May you be happy and free. May you be safe and well. May you feel loving and loved. Om Shanti. All right, so your journals. This could be a great time to go through and maybe talk about what we did, how you're feeling. Space to reconnect. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, comment, email, what works for you. I look forward to talking with you and seeing you again soon. Bye.